Okay, hello, this is Victor, and in this video I found you see that Meathead's stupidity is once again showcased. Please watch this video. Again, I say Meathead because he's dead from the neck up.
You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are.
2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's the whole ball game.
So the political conventions are finally over. The candidates have been officially nominated, and the direction both parties have for the future of our nation has been made abundantly clear.
We gather at this hallowed place because we believe in the American dream. We are one family, regardless of religion, class, or color.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. When Donald J. Trump becomes the president of the United States, all the real Americans are going to be nicknamed Trumpites.
I already have a nickname for people that support Trump. It's called Strumpet.
If you're a fan of the theater or monster truck rallies, Americans are faced with a relatively simple choice: elect a commander-in-chief or a philanderer and thief. And while this should be an easy decision, it's not, thanks in part to what's known as gaslighting. Now, of course, you all know what it is. In fact, you'd have to be an idiot to not know what it is. And if you don't know, well, you do not, because that entire sentence was gaslighting. Psychology Today defines it as an insidious form of psychological control and manipulation, similar to indoctrination, whose victims are deliberately and systematically fed false information, lies, over and over and over, to the point they're unable to even consider an opposing viewpoint, even when they know it's the truth.
Crime is increasing every day.
Actually, the data shows it's not.
Well, I don't care what the data shows. When's the last time you paid for a loaf of bread?
I just went to the store the other day, and I was glad to see that inflation is down.
Oh, no. We can't talk anymore.
Unemployment is down. My 401k is doing great. Your 401k is doing great. The markets are awesome.
No,
So what do you trust?
I trust Donald Trump.
And no
The
one's
poor
better at
strumpet.
gaslighting
See, that's
than
why
the
she's a
gassy
freaking
grifter
strumpet.
himself, Donald Trump.
100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. You know that? Beyond the number of 100%.
That's a damn lie and a stupid statement.
No, that's a lie. Plus, it's impossible. You can't have more than 100% of a finite number. Wasn't this on your cognitive test? Let me help you understand this. Oh, you've been married 3 times. You've cheated on all 3 wives. That means you've cheated on 100% of your wives. You haven't cheated on over 100% of your wives, just all of them, 100%. Get it? Now, from a percentage standpoint, some things can be over 100. Take manufacturing. During your last year in office, you invested $70 billion in manufacturing facilities. This year, President Biden has invested $149 billion. That is over 100% more, which by now should come as a surprise to no one.
We are in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. We're about 26 miles south of Milwaukee, at the site of what was supposed to be the 8th wonder of the world, in former President Trump's words.
This is the 8th wonder of the world.
It was supposed to be a $10 billion electronics manufacturing plant.
This is at least one state that has wasted millions of dollars based on the morally and ethically bankrupt Meathead that has gone financially bankrupt multiple times.
It became clear early on that this was all for show, but not before the state and local governments spent hundreds of millions of dollars to buy land and build infrastructure.
They did get some of it built, but most of the space that you see behind me Foxconn has put up for rent.
Everybody felt like they were lied to, and that is such a hard thing to come back from.
Last month, President Biden came here to troll Trump, announcing a $3 billion Microsoft data center on part of the Foxconn site.
Yet despite all his failures, this contest of the humane and the feared versus the insane and the weird is unbelievably close. Why? Because of the intentional lying and endless gaslighting by Trump and his army of liars.
What we have in Kamala Harris is a person who has said that she wants to defund the police.
What we should be thinking about is the opposite of defunding, refunding.
The opposite of defunding is not refunding. Remember, you're supposed to be smart because your uncle was a professor at MIT. You said that at least in at least one of your presentations, meathead.
Will refund.
No, that's a lie. She never said that. And by the way, Mr. MIT, the opposite of defund is not refund. It's fund, which is to allocate or provide funds for a program or project. To defund is to withdraw financial support from. Refund is to make repayment to or reimburse, something you still haven't done on the nearly $2 million you owe 14 U.S. cities from 2000.
See, and in one presentation, he was talking about how smart his fucking family is because his uncle was a professor at MIT, so therefore he has smart genes or some shit like that.
Including $64,000 to the city of Mesa, Arizona. I doubt you remember Mesa, but I think you know the mayor.
And by all means, you owe no displaced loyalty to a candidate that is morally and ethically bankrupt. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
So this defund the police lie started back in 2020 when a fabricated Twitter post alleging to be from Harris's personal account stated, "We need to focus on defunding the police rather than supporting them." It was, of course, shared on social media, where people believe everything they read, which invariably leads to sadness and disappointment. It's like if I decided to share a post alleging to be from J.D. Vance's personal account that said, pursuant to section 295004 of the Ohio State Criminal Code, I hereby give notice to any furniture, mattress, or waterbed store within 1,000 feet that I'm a registered sectional offender. Of course it's not true, but it sure looks real, which is why these things need to be fact-checked. And Snopes reported the Harris tweet was a lie. And PolitiFact said Trump's statement that Harris wants to defund the police leaves voters with the impression that she's calling for defunding the police, which is not true. So, Donald, what do you think about this Walz fella?
Surprising pick to me. I was shocked. He's also got one of the worst run states. Many people are leaving the state, sixth most.
Sixth most, eh? Then why does the U.S. Census Bureau's latest data show that not only did Minnesota add over 23,000 residents last year, they're number 4 on Wallet Hub's survey of happiest states in the entire country. Oh, and the 8 least happy states, they all have one thing in common. They all voted for you in 2020, and all but one have a Republican governor.
Where he's the one that signed in tampons in boys' bathrooms. He signed a bill that boys' bathrooms, all boys' bathrooms in Minnesota will have tampons.
Maybe he got the idea from J.D. Vance. But as usual, you're gaslighting.
Is Minnesota putting tampons in boys' bathrooms? Minnesota did pass a law that says menstrual products should be accessible to students in grades 4 through 12, but it doesn't single out boys' bathrooms. It just says the product should be available to all who need them. The law as written does not specifically tell schools to put tampons in boys' bathrooms.
You are a bald-faced liar.
Uh-huh. And what he won't tell you is that more than half the states in the U.S. already have legislation requiring K through 12 schools to provide free period products or offer funding for schools to purchase period products. And this map by Aunt Flo, no, not this lady, the verb, shows that many of the states that don't provide them are the red states you saw earlier, which is why they also struggle academically.
A report showed there is a direct link between student academic success and the provision of hygiene products in school because it removes financial barriers and stress.
You can't learn if you're all of a sudden you're taking a test and now you have your period and what do I do? Girls were missing school due to their periods. not having access to products.
Before this legislation was passed, we would organize donation of period products and then distribute them around the school.
Amaya Colby-Clay.
That was like our job.
And Kaya Kutza are co-presidents of the Women's Outreach Club.
We were distributing period products that were donated by the National Council of Jewish Women.
They can fight for other things now.
Yes, like defeating Trump and Project 2025.
Wow, school lunch is up 65%. How can a family afford that?
Ooh, I know this one. Pick me. Elect a Democratic governor and make sure that you control the House and the Senate.
Governor Tim Walz this afternoon at about 1:15 p.m. signs into law one of the Democrats' top priorities for the 2023 session: free school breakfast and lunch for all Minnesota students, regardless of income. House Republicans made a last-ditch attempt Thursday afternoon to block the bill.
Yes, block the bill. After all, Republicans want to protect the constitutional rights of your unborn fetus. It's just after they're born when they kind of lose interest.
You know what I think they should do? They should, on November 5th or sooner, if it's early voting, which largely it is, which is ridiculous. We should have one-day voting.
So what did the air accordion player do less than 24 hours earlier?
Florida's primary is coming up, and former President Donald Trump cast his ballot today in early voting.
Liar! Liar! She's a radical left socialist. But beyond that, like the cover of Time magazine, they didn't put a picture. They got a great artist to do with it. What was that all about? You know, what was that all about? The whole thing is crazy.
And I have been on their cover like 14 or 15 times. I think we have the all-time record in the history of Time magazine.
Well, landing on the cover of Time magazine is an impressive accomplishment. President Trump actually has a cover featuring him hanging at 4 of his golf courses.
Yeah, the only problem is the cover is a fake.
Here it is. The cover features headlines like "The Apprentice is a smash, television smash," and "Trump is hitting on all fronts, even TV." And this is dated back to March 1st of 2009.
Yeah, but there was no magazine issued on that date, and Time magazine has confirmed this is a fake.
Oh
no, there are several signs on the phony cover that give it away.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
So if there's one thing we've learned over the last 8 years, it's Donald Trump has no problem lying to his wives, his supporters, and the American people. And now that he's trailing in the polls and his own people are turning against him, the outright lies and gaslighting are only going to get worse.
If they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something.
Yes, call out those lies. Spread the truth relentlessly, please. Because I have to be honest, watching every single Trump rally and suffering through hours and hours worth of Fox News clips every day is exhausting. Because if I could, I'd love to show you how I built my own pizza oven, or share some of my homemade sushi recipes, or tell you about some really great fishing spots. But I can't, not yet. Not until I've done everything in my power to keep the narcoleptic narcissist out of office. And if we all work hard and volunteer and donate to as many Democratic candidates as we can afford, we can all wake up.
I've heard the saying that everyone serves a purpose. The felon and former president, chronic liar and cheater, does serve a purpose. As an example of what to not be like. We do not need or want another episode of reality TV from the White House. Rather than do his job for the country, he would rather spew out lies and gossip in order to have FaceTime in front of any media camera. Thank you for watching.